Sit. Stay. Ireland is located in the northeastern Atlantic, directly below Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, the proper name being the Republic of Ireland. Their official language is English, and their original language is Gaelic. This is what their flag looks like. Ireland is widely considered to be a first world country. It is considered fourth out of all first world countries in terms of gross income and 10th in terms of human development. According to Economist.com, out of all European countries, it has the 13th highest unemployment rate. That's about in the middle. However, they have the fourth highest GDP of all European countries from 2014 to 2013. Ireland's national debt lowered from 243.14 billion to about 229.42 billion. And it is said to plateau around that number for the next 4 years. One of the major ecosystems in Ireland is the bogland. It is similar to a wetland, although it usually contains a large mass of peat, a deposit of dead plant material, usually things like moss. This is what a bogland food web looks like. Afforestation, waste tipping, open cast coal mining, and road development have all taken their toll on lowland raised bogs. But it is agricultural drainage and commercial peat extraction for horticulture at wholly unsustainable rates which are the most serious threats to this habitat. That's a quote from this website. Endangered bogland species. The whiskered bats are threatened by decline in woodland, disturbed hibernation, and modern agriculture. Puffins are endangered by habitat loss and overfishing and have been concentrated to only a few places in Ireland. They are carnivorous and primarily eat fish. The slow worm, it's a type of lizard, is endangered by the destruction of their habitat and have lowered in numbers due to modern agriculture and destruction of bogs. Threats to wildlife. The biggest threat affecting Irish wildlife today is the destruction of bogs for modern agricultural purposes and the destruction of other natural habitats that would provide different species with homes. Nature reserves and national parks. There are an immense amount of nature reserves in the Republic of Ireland currently. This can be attributed to the fact that the bog is their dominant biome, and since humans discovered that they were the most productive, Ireland must have decided to save the rest of them. Maintaining aquatic and terrestrial biodiversity. So boglands, if you consider those aquatic biomes, then they've been really taking care of them. The most important legislation underpinning biodiversity and nature conservation in Ireland is the Wildlife Act of 1976. Is Ireland a biodiversity hotspot? No. Ireland is currently not listed as being a hotspot. However, it has a very large concentration of the world's most productive biome, which is nothing to brush aside. What can Ireland do to maintain its biodiversity? Currently, what it is doing is quite effective. That is adding more and more nature reserves and working to preserve the wildlife and their habitats as much as possible. They also appear to be doing a great job of educating their youth about the importance of conservation. There comes a moment in everybody's life they have to look at what they're doing and ask, is this going to damage me physically beyond repair? Anders, why do you always wear hiking shoes? Climate. What types of biomes and climates are present? A lot of boglands, covered in the temperate deciduous forest biome. Average temperature is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. There are distinct 4 seasons. Mild summers and cold winters ranging from 30 to 60 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. Mild summers and cold winters. And there's 30 to 60 inches of rain per year. That's a lot of rain. Global winds and ocean currents. Because Ireland is an island, the ocean keeps the weather more mild compared to other places in its latitude. This latitude is about 50 degrees north to 58 degrees north. Wind blows from the east to the west in the winter and northeast to southeast in the summer. Because the Republic only stretches about 8 degrees in longitude, the country sees a widespread commonality in terms of weather. So that means the weather is pretty much homogeneous on any given day throughout the country. Humans' effects on the biomes and climates. Overall, Ireland is doing a pretty good job of keeping everything nice. They realized that deforestation and destruction of bogland was not a good idea, so they stopped and put many laws and regulations in place to stop the destruction. Was this worth it? Real environmentalists drive trucks so they could get to the wilderness more easier. The topography of the island of Ireland features a hilly central lowland composed of limestone surrounded by a broken border of coastal mountains. The mountain ranges vary greatly in geological structure. The Republic of Ireland currently has an approximate total population of 4.7 million with a fertility rate of 2.01 births per woman and a population growth rate of about 0.2% per year, which is lower than the global average of 1.13% per year. The Republic of Ireland has a birth rate of 16.1 births per 1,000 and a death rate of 6.34 deaths per 1,000. An immigration rate of 0.86 per 1,000 and an emigration rate of 0.16 per 1,000. Stage 5 of DTM, this is where the death rate is very low and the birth rate is low and fluctuating. It is here because Ireland is a wealthy country and people choose to have children later in life. As well, medical and hospital stuff is advanced to the highest level, so this accounts for the low death rate. The population will be high but steady. Currently, the country is growing at a rate that is sustainable for the current resources being supplied by the planet. I got you. Turn around. Facing the camera. Okay. Landslides, subsidence, and coastal erosion. There are currently 148 occurrences of landslides documented in the Irish landslide database. Landslides cause coastal erosion and subsidence, in addition to worsening climate change due to the reflected sunlight. Ireland mainly depends on trade for most of their mineral resources. They do have a small mining industry that employs about 1,000 people. I would suggest Ireland set up a special service that recycles and reuses all of the mineral resources found in smartphones and other electronic devices, as to not only save those resources for Ireland but for the world as well. Don't fall off there. For energy, Ireland uses peat, decomposing plant matter from bogs, to create electricity. There are no oil reserves in Ireland. Coal is also a very important source of fuel. There have been 4 major commercial natural gas reserves found in Ireland. Peat does not burn clean. It is relatively expensive as a fuel source. Burning it releases CO2, which is a greenhouse gas, after all. Overall, I would consider Ireland to be a pretty good example of a country that uses fuel. They have a wide variety of fuel that they use. Although not all of it is renewable. If every country behaved this way, I think we'd be a lot better off. something like 20% of their entire fuel, or of their entire energy, comes from reusable and renewable materials. Food, soil, and pest management. There's my pest. Almost 20% of the total land in Ireland is used for agricultural purposes. Ireland has a traditional stockmanship and crop husbandry style of agriculture that has been handed down through over 200 generations. There's a lot of brown soil in Ireland. It's rich and fertile. That kind of soil can be found inland, like in the eastern part of the island. Another prominent soil type in Ireland is the peaty soil. This can be found near bogs and coastal regions. Due to high fertility of the soil in Ireland, there hasn't been a major issue since the potato famine. However, in recent years, there's been a big push for the Irish government to make farming greener, and the agro industry is legally required to cut carbon emissions by 20% in 2020. All right. Water. 82% of fresh water in Ireland is sourced from surface water, 10% from groundwater, and 7% from springs. Ireland is currently at low risk for water shortage. However, as the domestic and industrial demand increases and as the population grows, the risk may increase. River population in Ireland is caused by discharges from municipal sewage treatment plants, runoff from urban streets, septic tanks, landfills from agriculture. Forestry and industry also contribute to river pollution, however, it is to a lesser extent. Ireland saw a significant decrease in fish population due to river pollution, and since 1986 they have put in a conscious effort to stop this, and the death of fish population due to pollution has significantly decreased since. Solid and hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is generated by many different parts of Irish society, and over half of the waste that is produced is exported for treatment. The country has also put in many programs in order to reduce and prevent the production of hazardous waste. The solid waste is exported for treatment and treated accordingly. There are many government-mandated programs that continue to support and encourage the reduction of waste production in Ireland. It's a tongue twister. Say it 3 times. Environment, society, trade-offs, and decisions. Climate change and protecting the environment are just 2 of the many widely accepted views among the Irish people and their government. The government has put many programs and regulations to encourage a greener way of living. Some strict laws have also been put in place to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in cities and businesses, as well as reduce water pollution. The government follows their own beliefs with a heavy influence from the EPA and other environmental protection services. In the past, major urban traffic was a large contributor to the poor air quality, but with campaigns that encourage public transit, traffic has decreased. Ireland has been pushing for sustainable urban life and eco-buildings in major cities. Their plan is to eventually have entire eco-cities. People think I'm crazy in this town. But I'll show them once I get an A on this APES project. Ooh. As of 2014, the air quality of Ireland fell below the WHO guidelines due to local traffic, coal burning, and burning of peat. Since 2014, however, Ireland's air quality is reportedly good relative to other European nations. This can be attributed to the increased use of sustainable energy sources. The Irish government has put forth great efforts to reduce climate change in their energy production and putting strict laws and regulations on the agro industry as well as other industries. Thank you. Thank you. Took all of my talent. I had to muster. It's for my environmental science class.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Saving the world.
One video at a time.
There you go.